Woman! The firewood! Woman! The baby!
A new God of War game was just announced at Sony's State of Play the other day, but in what could only be described as the rug pull of the century, you don't even get to play as the God of War at all. Instead, you play as his middle-aged wife.
Huh?
And the internet did not take kindly to this, as you saw in the intro. God of War Laundry, God of War Laufey, and I'm just gonna say it, that name is dumb. Laufey, it just sounds dumb.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
It sounds dumb. It doesn't roll off the tongue the way that it's supposed to. It doesn't sound natural. Whoever came up with it should be fired.
Yeah!
But God of War Laufey, or I should say Laundry, is in much the same predicament that Ellen Page found herself in when the rumors that she was playing Achilles in the Odyssey started going around. Remember this meme? What about this one? Or this one? Well, the guy who brought you those has brought you these.
Faster, woman! I'm hungry!
This is Dr. Clown PhD on Twitter, and he has been destroying God of Laundry ever since it was revealed at Sony's State of Gay a couple of days ago. So let's take a look at a few of these, but first a little context. Remember how in the old God of War games there were mini games that you could play with certain goddesses like Aphrodite? Well, God of War Laundry has its own mini games, but they're a little bit different.
Woman! The firewood!
Okay, you know what? I have to stop it here. Why is Kratos making Faye carry the firewood? That's fucked up. Even for me, that's messed up, dude. And she's pregnant. Why, Kratos?
Woman! The baby! Woman! Faster!
I do feel kind of bad in a way over all the bad publicity that this game is getting, and that's really only because Deborah Ann Woll is the lead and she doesn't deserve any hate. So I hope that no one is directing anything to her, and I know having your name attached as the lead to a major AAA game like God of War has to be a huge thing for an actress, but the problem is not with her, it's with Sony and GayStation, who always go out of their way to uglify everything. Well, I guess I shouldn't say always, because there was a time when Sony made genuinely great games with hyper-masculine male protagonists like Kratos and even Sackboy.
What?
And super feminine but badass female characters like Kat from Gravity Rush, for example. Everybody loved Kat. For as much as liberals like to say that us quote-unquote chuds hate playing as women characters, if that were the case, then characters like Kat never would have been made to begin with. Lara Croft never would have made it out of 1996 and gone on to headline movies and dozens of games. I am supposedly someone who, according to these people, hates female characters, but I just got done making a video where I pretty much glazed the new Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis game. That's one of my most anticipated games for next year, and it stars a
woman.
Everybody loved Tess in The Last of Us, and Ellie too in the first game. Neither of these female characters were hyper-sexualized by the game, they were not goon bait, and yet these two characters resonated so much with male audiences, and it was not that they were badass women. You know, that was not it. Well, I guess maybe that was part of it, but what made Tess and Ellie draw in so many people, especially Ellie, was the humanity that these characters showcased and how they survived in the environments that they lived in. They were not just men in female cosplay like Abby was in the second game.
Don't you fucking disrespect.
or like pretty much any female lead nowadays. You can tell that this was a story that was written by people who've been through things. Maybe they didn't go through those exact circumstances of a zombie apocalypse, but they've had experiences in their lives that they were able to draw from to be able to evoke a certain feeling in us when we're playing as or watching these characters. That first scene with Sarah in The Last of Us, you know what scene I'm talking about. That scene has never once failed to make me shed at least one tear. And I've played that game at least a dozen times. Ellie and Tess were written very well. They fit in the environment. Their being there makes sense, and most importantly, they were not shoved into the game for political purposes. And if they were, then it doesn't seem like it. But The Last of Us was one of the last major AAA video games that came out before the gaming industry took this propagandistic trajectory that we've been on for over a decade now. Another example is Clementine in The Walking Dead by Telltale Games. Clementine was a female lead and she was black too. And in the first game you also had Lee, a black male lead who was Clementine's father figure in the game. And that is one of the most beloved games of all time. Male gamers who supposedly hate women and black people in games ate this game up and made it one of the most loved games of all time. Again, it came out during a time where games were made just to be good games and not to send political messages. I love that game and even the sequels, so it's not a oh I just hate women in video games thing, and it ain't a race thing, and it ain't a color thing.
It ain't a race thing, it ain't a color thing, it's a me kicking your ass thing.
No, it's a I want the characters in these video games to be actual characters instead of mouthpieces for the political activists at these companies. When I play Lara Croft, I don't want to hear Anita Sarkeesian, I want to hear Lara Croft. So bringing this back to God of War Laundry, what we've seen of the narrative so far doesn't sound terrible, it
insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
It doesn't need to exist. You can read all the comments in the threads about this game. Nobody wants to play as Kratos' wife. A game featuring Atreus would have made a lot more sense, even if he isn't the God of War. He is still the son of the God of War, but therein lies the problem, and that's why you're seeing a Faye game instead of an Atreus game, and that is that he's a male and not a female. And I'm sure you've noticed the trend by now, but pretty much every single major gay station series has had its classic male lead replaced with a female. It happened to Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ratchet & Clank, and now God of War as well.
Woman! The firewood! Woman! The baby! Woman! Faster!